If you're going to do an audit on your own home, it's all the more important that you're able to look at your home with a brand new, fresh set of eyes. So put on the eyes of the detective. Best way to start your inspection is with what we call an exterior walk-around. Walk around the outside of your house and look for any issues that you think might affect the energy efficiency or the durability of your home. On this side, we can see the gable vent up top. Tells me for sure this is an unconditioned attic, and that's for ventilation in the attic. Mostly to let the hot air out in summertime and to remove moisture. And see only two things in the roof. There's the chimney, obviously active, there's smoke coming out, so probably a wood stove. And this little white pipe that's a vent pipe, or often called a stink stack, that's just attached to a toilet. I'm always looking around all the windows for the caulking, make sure everything looks good. The caulk always cracks, it always fails at some point. It could be a few years, could be 10 years. But you're looking around, this one looks good. Here's the doorbell. I guess it still works, but this is pretty minor, but this is a place where you could put some caulk and do a little air sealing there. Anytime you can air seal from the outside instead of the inside is even better, because you're stopping the air getting into the walls at all. Now if you look around on this wall, there's a bunch of places where you could caulk. See there and there, there. All those places are air intrusions. A door like this, I would just run a bead of caulk along the whole thing, even where it doesn't seem to be cracked at the moment. Down at the bottom, I would caulk all of this. I would caulk all of this there to try to avoid any potential that the water's getting in there, or air, and going in and getting into those walls. Same thing on this side. This crack, that's also something you want to seal up. That could be causing air intrusion, but it's definitely causing water intrusion. They're both enemies. Air and water are enemies of your house. Water will degrade your house. Air will just simply make it harder to heat and cool. So there again, a bead of caulk all along that edge would be good enough. And one of the things you want to look for is that the ground is sloped away. Now, I'm not sure how well you can see this in the camera, but this ground here slopes slightly in towards the house, which means when it rains, instead of the water running away from the house, it's going to run towards the house. That ultimately means a wetter basement, a wetter crawl space, which could lead to mold, which could lead to rotting the house. If I move all these leaves away, you can probably see there's a really big depression here. And there's a window down to the basement below. Obviously she's put that wood there because there's an issue with water coming in when it's raining. So it's not only that window well, this whole area has dropped down, so the water's going to pool here, and a lot of water will end up seeping into the house. This sort of depression, if you find that, easy. You just get dirt, fill in the dirt, get a bunch of dirt and fill it in. In this case, you could fill it in this high and fill it in all this area, and that way you're going to deal with that and there won't be any more water pooling over here. Now, a lot of water issues aren't going to be affecting your energy efficiency, but they're really good things to find out because they could cause your house to basically fall down eventually. They can be energy efficiency issues also because water damage could lead to siding being rotted out, which causes air leakage issues. It could lead to insulation getting rotten, or if it's just wet, a lot of insulation will lose its value. Even fiberglass, but fiberglass can dry out. Cellulose, if that gets wet, that's like wet paper. It's never really going to properly dry out. It'll probably mold. So there are energy issues too. In any case, you're looking around the house for proper drainage. right here we can see this here isn't attached anymore. So that bit of gutter that catches a whole lot of water coming off basically half of this roof, or half of this side at least, is coming down and falling straight down here. If this were simply attached again, which would not be a big issue to do, then you got your proper drainage again for this section here.